Okay, so get this right. You're 15, dealing with an eating disorder, and suddenly, bam, near-death experience.
Whoa.
Yeah, intense, right? And that's exactly what happened to Rosie Berry, the author of the article we're diving into. Eat these foods to help strengthen your intuition.
Wow.
This experience, though, it totally changed her life, shifted how she saw things, and sparked this whole fascination with intuition, and the body's wisdom.
It's wild how these really intense things, these experiences can be like totally transformative.
Right.
Almost like our internal alarm system gets like a massive upgrade or something, forces us to actually pay attention to what our bodies are trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Barry's story, I mean, it really drives home that mind-body connection, don't you think?
Totally, yeah. And during her recovery, one of the things that really struck her was how out of touch she'd been with her own body. She even called her eating disorder nonsense, which, I don't know, I feel like that says a lot about how many of us just ignore or like suppress those little internal cues we get.
Yeah, it's like we're not even listening.
Exactly.
And those cues, those whispers, that's what we often call interoception.
Okay.
It's your body's way of communicating, right? Like needs, feelings, even potential threats. Think of it as your internal guidance system, always sending you updates.
So like those gut feelings people talk about.
Exactly. But it's more than just a hunch, you know? Interoception is about tuning into those subtle signals.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like a flutter in your chest when you're nervous, or that warmth you feel when you connect with someone you care about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. But how does this interoception, this like internal awareness, how does that connect to intuition?
Okay, so imagine your brain's trying to solve this super complex equation, right? But it's being bombarded with notifications and distractions.
No, yeah, way too familiar.
Right. It's going to be tough to focus, to find a clear solution.
For sure.
Intuition's the same way. When we're swamped with stress, external stuff, processed foods that cloud our system, those intuitive whispers, they get lost.
It's like our intuition needs the right environment to like balloon or something.
Exactly. And that's where Barry's point about food comes in. She thinks that if we nourish our bodies with specific nutrients, we can actually boost our ability to pick up on these signals.
Interesting. So we're talking about food that makes you more intuitive.
In a way, yeah.
What kind of foods are we talking about?
Yeah.
How does this actually work?
Well, Barry's got a pretty interesting list. And don't worry, it's not all like kale smoothies and wheatgrass shots.
Okay, good to know.
She talks about a few key nutrients, and each one has a specific role in supporting a healthy brain and gut, which she links to clear, strong intuition.
Okay, now this is getting really interesting. So let's break down these nutrients and like dive into how they impact our intuition. First up, we have alpha-lipoic acid. What is that exactly, and where can we find it?
Alpha-lipoic acid is a powerful antioxidant found in foods like spinach, broccoli, even organ meats. Think of antioxidants as like bodyguards for your cells, protecting them from damage caused by stress, pollution, even just getting older.
So are you saying that by protecting our cells, especially those in our brains, it's creating a better environment for those intuitive sparks?
Yeah, exactly. A healthy brain just functions better. It can process information more efficiently, including those little cues that often lead to those aha moments. And alpha-lipoic acid is especially important for keeping our brains sharp as we age.
Interesting.
Which means it could help us hold on to that sharp intuition throughout life.
Wow, so it's like giving our brains an extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so what's next on Barry's list of these brain-boosting nutrients?
Next up are flavonols.
Flavonols?
Yeah, and they're in loads of things like berries, apples, tea, even dark chocolate.
Okay, I'm listening. Chocolate's always a good sign.
Right. So the cool thing about flavonols is that they've been shown to boost blood flow to the brain, particularly to areas like the cerebral cortex.
Okay, and remind me, why is that important for intuition? What's going on in the cerebral cortex?
Well, think of it like this. The cerebral cortex, that's like mission control for your brain, right?
Okay.
It's where all the higher level thinking happens, the decision making, those aha moments of insight. And there's a specific region called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex.
Wow, mouthful.
I know, right? But it's thought to be super involved in processing gut feelings, making those intuitive judgments.
So more blood flow to those areas equals a more intuitive brain.
Basically, yeah. More blood means more oxygen, more nutrients reaching those brain cells, which helps them function at their best.
Ah, okay.
It's like giving your brain the resources it needs to process information better and tap into those intuitive clues.
So it's like giving our intuition a clear path to, like, come through.
Exactly. Now, next on the list, I think you'll like this one, DHA. Barry recommends we up our intake of fatty fish like salmon, tuna, things like hemp seeds, and algae.
Okay, DHA. I'm hearing a lot about this one. So what's the deal with DHA?
It's a type of omega-3 fatty acid, basically high-octane fuel for your brain.
Okay.
It helps those neurons fire rapidly, communicate better, which is key for all sorts of brain functions, memory, focus, even mood.
So a happier, more energized brain is more likely to tune into those intuitive whispers.
Exactly. When your brain's running smoothly, it's just better equipped to process all kinds of information, including those subtle signals that might otherwise get drowned out by the noise of daily life. Some studies even suggest that DHA can boost communication between different parts of the brain, which could lead to more of those aha moments.
Wow, it's like giving your intuition a superpower. Okay, last but not least on the list, we have, what is this one? Phosphatidylserine.
Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful.
Definitely had to do a double take on that one.
But it's super important for keeping our brains healthy. You can find it in things like dark meat poultry, organ meats, mackerel. Think of phosphatidylserine as like a protector for your brain cells. It helps shield them from damage, helps them keep their structure, their flexibility.
So it's about ensuring those brain cells stay healthy and resilient as we age.
Exactly. And remember how we were talking about the hippocampus being so important for memory? Well, phosphatidylserine has been shown to support that hippocampal function, which is awesome for maintaining those cognitive skills as we get older, including intuition.
It's amazing to think that something you eat could actually help protect your brain and keep your mind sharp as you get older.
Right.
But Barry also says it's not just about adding these specific foods to your diet. Right?
Certainly not.
She's talking about a more holistic thing, like diet A&D lifestyle, to really tap into your intuition.
Exactly. It's like, imagine trying to listen to this really quiet, beautiful symphony, but there's all this noise around you.
Yeah, you can't even hear it.
Right. You can't focus. And it's the same with our bodies and minds. If we're constantly dealing with stress, toxins from processed foods, sugar highs and crashes, those intuitive whispers, they get lost in all the chaos.
So it's like we need to create a peaceful space inside ourselves to hear those whispers.
Exactly. Reducing processed foods, cutting back on sugar, that's a great start. Those things often cause inflammation, and not just in the body, but in the brain too, and that can mess with those subtle signals we're talking about. Barry also talks about managing stress, things like mindfulness, meditation, even just getting out in nature.
Right, because when you're stressed out, it's way harder to tune into anything, let alone something as subtle as intuition.
Exactly.
So, okay, we've covered the foods to add, the things to cut back on, and ways to manage stress. What else can we do to, cultivate our intuition, make it stronger?
Well, this is where it becomes a practice, a conscious effort to just tune in and listen to your body. Start paying attention to how you feel after you eat certain things. Do you feel a difference in your energy, your mental clarity, even just your mood?
Yeah, sometimes, I guess.
Our bodies give us feedback all the time. We just have to slow down and actually pay attention.
It's like learning to recognize those signals we've been talking about, the ones we might have been ignoring for, ever.
Exactly. And here's the thing about intuition. It's not like this magical power that only certain people have.
Right.
It's a natural human ability, and we can all develop it, make it stronger. And as we've been talking about, what we eat can play a surprisingly big role in that.
I like that. It's empowering. We're not stuck. We can actually do things to tap into this ability we all have. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it makes me wonder, what if we've been overlooking one of the most powerful tools we have for navigating life, our own intuition?
It's a good question to ask ourselves. Maybe if we nourish our bodies and minds, we can access this deeper well of wisdom and insight.
It's definitely given me a lot to think about. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. It's been fascinating. And to everyone listening, remember to trust your gut. Listen to your body. And hey, maybe add some extra salmon to your plate tonight. Until next time.